The 2026 Yamaha Star Venture has just rolled back into the spotlight, and it's making the entire luxury touring world nervous. The moment this massive machine appears on the road, it commands attention like a rolling palace on two wheels. Built by Yamaha Motor Company, the Star Venture isn't just another cruiser trying to compete with the big names. It's a full-scale assault on the luxury touring throne. Fire up its massive V-twin, and the deep rumble instantly announces that this bike means serious business. Twist the throttle, and the power comes alive with a smooth, confident surge that feels perfectly tuned for endless highway miles. It's not frantic. It's not aggressive. It's pure long-distance authority, the kind that makes riders want to chase the horizon without ever looking back. But the real shocker isn't just the power. It's the sheer level of comfort and technology packed into this touring giant. The moment you settle into the plush saddle, the world suddenly slows down as the bike glides across pavement with incredible stability. The cockpit surrounds you with modern touring features, including a large infotainment display, smartphone connectivity through Yamaha Transcontinental Infotainment System, and a premium sound system that turns every ride into a rolling concert. Add cavernous storage, passenger-friendly seating, and wind protection designed for marathon journeys, and suddenly the Star Venture becomes more than a motorcycle. It becomes a luxury travel machine. When the 2026 Star Venture hits the highway, it doesn't just cruise, it redefines what long-distance motorcycling can feel like. The 2026 BMW K 1600B has just rolled into the spotlight, and riders everywhere are asking the same jaw-dropping question: is this the most powerful luxury bagger ever built? Because when BMW Motorrad created the K 1600B, they didn't simply build another cruiser for relaxed highway rides. They built a road-dominating machine powered by one of the most legendary engines in motorcycling, a silky, thunderous inline-six that instantly separates this bike from everything else in the bagger world. The moment that engine fires up, the sound alone feels different, smooth, deep, and incredibly refined. But twist the throttle and the story changes fast. The K 1600B launches forward with a surge of power so effortless it almost feels unreal, delivering acceleration that most touring cruisers simply cannot match. This isn't just cruising, this is luxury performance unleashed on the open road. But the real shocker isn't just the engine, it's how unbelievably refined the entire experience feels. Settle into the cockpit, and the bike instantly wraps you in comfort, with a low-slung stance, sculpted seat, and wind protection designed for long-distance domination. Advanced electronics quietly work behind the scenes, including ride modes, traction control, adaptive lighting, and premium infotainment that turns every ride into a high-tech touring experience. The massive saddlebags provide real travel capability, while the chassis delivers surprising agility for such a large machine. The result is a bagger that doesn't just look aggressive, it rides like a grand touring missile. When the 2026 BMW K 1600B hits the highway, it doesn't simply cruise alongside other baggers, it redefines what a luxury performance cruiser can be. The 2026 Indian Scout has just returned to the spotlight, and riders everywhere are asking one electrifying question: did Indian just build the most exciting modern cruiser yet? The moment this machine rolls into view, it's clear this isn't just another retro-styled motorcycle trying to ride on heritage. Built by Indian Motorcycle, the new Scout blends classic American cruiser style with surprisingly modern engineering. Fire up the liquid-cooled V-twin and the bike instantly comes alive with a deep, confident rumble that feels both refined and aggressive. Twist the throttle and the response is immediate. Smooth yet powerful acceleration surges forward as the 1,250cc engine unleashes around 105 horsepower and 82 pound-feet of torque, delivering far more punch than many riders expect from a mid-size cruiser. But the real shocker isn't just the power, it's how modern the riding experience feels. The 2026 Scout platform now offers selectable ride modes, traction control, ABS, cruise control, and even a 4-inch ride command display with navigation and Bluetooth connectivity on higher trims, turning this classic cruiser into a surprisingly high-tech machine. The low 25-inch seat height and balanced chassis make the bike approachable and confidence-inspiring, while its iconic teardrop tank, solo seat, and muscular stance keep the legendary Scout identity alive. The result is a motorcycle that feels equally at home cruising city streets or blasting down open highways. When the 2026 Indian Scout hits the road, it doesn't just celebrate heritage, it proves that classic cruiser style can still deliver thrilling modern performance. The 2026 Harley-Davidson Road King Special has just roared back into the spotlight, and cruiser fans everywhere are asking one explosive question: did Harley just perfect the classic American bagger? Built by Harley-Davidson, the Road King Special doesn't rely on flashy fairings or oversized screens to impress. Instead, it brings raw road presence and timeless design that instantly commands attention. The moment that massive Milwaukee 8114 V-twin fires up, the deep rumble hits like rolling thunder. Twist the throttle and the bike surges forward with an effortless wave of torque around 158 Nm, 122 pound-feet, delivering strong acceleration while maintaining the relaxed cruising personality that defines big American touring bikes. But the real magic of the Road King Special is how it blends heritage with real-world performance. Its stripped-down bagger design features mini-ape handlebars, stretched saddlebags, and blacked-out styling, giving the motorcycle a bold, aggressive stance while still delivering genuine touring capability. The low seat height and wide handlebars place riders in a commanding upright position, while the large fuel tank and comfortable ergonomics make long highway journeys feel effortless. Underneath the classic look, modern components like LED lighting, advanced braking, and refined suspension help keep the ride smooth and stable, even on long-distance adventures. When the 2026 Road King Special rolls onto the open highway, it doesn't just continue a legendary name, it reminds riders why the Road King has ruled American touring roads for decades. The 2026 Honda Goldwing 1800 DCT has just returned, and riders everywhere are asking the same shocking question: did Honda just perfect the ultimate luxury touring motorcycle? Because the moment this massive machine rolls into view, it's clear that Honda isn't playing around. The Goldwing has always been legendary, but the latest version pushes that reputation even further. Fire up the iconic 1,833cc horizontally opposed 6-cylinder engine, and the bike comes alive with turbine-like smoothness. This flat-6 powerhouse delivers roughly 125 horsepower and 170 Nm of torque, creating a surge of effortless acceleration that feels more like a luxury grand touring car than a traditional motorcycle. But the real magic happens when the 7-speed dual-clutch transmission DCT takes over, delivering seamless automatic shifts that make long highway rides unbelievably smooth and relaxing. But the Goldwing's real secret weapon isn't just its engine, it's the entire riding experience. The innovative double wishbone front suspension, advanced ride modes, and precise electronics transform this nearly 800-pound touring giant into a machine that feels surprisingly agile and composed on the road. Settle into the saddle, and the bike surrounds you with luxury: a large infotainment system with smartphone integration, cruise control, premium audio, and luggage capacity designed for cross-country adventures. Add features like reverse assist and walking mode to maneuver the heavyweight machine easily in tight spaces, and suddenly the Goldwing becomes less of a motorcycle and more of a two-wheeled luxury touring machine built to devour entire continents. When the 2026 Goldwing 1800 DCT hits the open highway, it doesn't just carry riders down the road. The 2026 Indian Challenger has just exploded back into the spotlight, and riders everywhere are asking the same jaw-dropping question: did Indian just build the most powerful bagger on the road? Because the moment this machine fires up, it's clear this isn't your typical laid-back cruiser. Built by Indian Motorcycle, the Challenger was engineered to dominate highways with performance that borders on outrageous. At its heart sits the massive Power Plus liquid-cooled V-twin, delivering around 126 horsepower and 133 pound-feet of torque from a huge 112 cubic inch 1,834cc engine, numbers that pushed this touring bagger into true muscle bike territory. Twist the throttle and the bike surges forward with a smooth but relentless wave of power, launching this heavyweight cruiser with acceleration that leaves many traditional baggers struggling to keep up. But the real shocker isn't just the engine, it's how advanced the entire machine feels once you're in the saddle. The Challenger surrounds the rider with modern touring technology, including a 7-inch ride command touchscreen with GPS navigation, Apple CarPlay, and Bluetooth connectivity, transforming the cockpit into a full digital command center for long-distance travel. Add premium audio, electronically adjustable wind protection, massive saddlebags with over 18 gallons of storage, and a chassis built for stability at highway speeds, and suddenly this motorcycle becomes more than just a cruiser. It becomes a high-performance touring weapon. When the 2026 Indian Challenger hits the open road, it doesn't just cruise beside its rivals, it challenges the entire bagger world to keep up. The 2026 Suzuki Boulevard C90 has quietly returned to the cruiser scene, and riders are suddenly realizing this big V-twin might be one of the most underrated highway machines on the road. Built by Suzuki, the Boulevard C90 brings old-school cruiser muscle with a massive 1,462cc V-twin engine designed for smooth, torque-rich cruising rather than high-revving speed. Fire up the engine and the deep rumble immediately feels classic and commanding. Twist the throttle and the C90 doesn't explode forward like a sport bike. Instead, it delivers a thick wave of low RPM torque that pushes the big cruiser forward with calm, effortless power. With about 66 horsepower and roughly 115 Nm, 84 pound-feet of torque, the bike is tuned for relaxed highway dominance and long-distance comfort rather than aggressive racing performance. But the real surprise of the Boulevard C90 isn't just the engine, it's how perfectly the entire bike is built for long rides. The low seat height around 720 millimeters, about 28 inches, and wide cruiser ergonomics make it easy to control despite its large size. Add shaft drive reliability, a large fuel tank, and stable long wheelbase handling, and the C90 becomes a motorcycle designed to devour miles without drama. On the open highway, the bike feels planted, relaxed, and incredibly smooth, the kind of machine that encourages riders to keep chasing the horizon long after the sun starts setting. When the 2026 Suzuki Boulevard C90 rolls down the road, it doesn't scream for attention, it simply cruises with quiet confidence, proving that classic big-bore cruisers still have a powerful place in the modern motorcycle world. The legend of the Yamaha vs. Max 1700 refuses to die, and that's exactly why riders are still obsessed with the idea of a 2026 Yamaha V Max roaring back onto the streets. For decades, this motorcycle has been known as one of the most outrageous muscle bikes ever built. At the heart of the Versus Max sits a monstrous 1,679cc liquid-cooled V4 engine, delivering nearly 200 horsepower and brutal acceleration that can rocket the bike from 0 to 60 miles per hour in under 3 seconds. The moment that engine fires up, it doesn't just sound powerful, it feels like a warning. Twist the throttle, and the VMAX lunges forward with a ferocious surge of torque, launching this heavyweight cruiser like a drag strip missile. This isn't a typical cruiser built for relaxed cruising. This is a muscle bike engineered to intimidate everything around it. But here's the twist that surprises many riders. Despite all the viral videos and rumors online, the legendary VMAX actually stopped production after the 2020 model year, mainly due to emissions regulations and declining sales. That means any 2026 VMAX you see today is either a concept, speculation, or a continuation of the iconic platform in enthusiasts' imaginations. And yet, the myth refuses to fade, because few motorcycles ever match the Versus Max's raw personality. Its aggressive design, massive air scoops, shaft-drive powertrain, and unmistakable stance made it one of the most recognizable power cruisers ever created. Even today, riders still dream about Yamaha reviving this monster with modern electronics and updated styling. If the Versus Max ever returns, one thing is certain: it won't just enter the muscle bike world again. It will shake the entire motorcycle industry the moment it fires up. The 2026 Indian Chief Vintage has roared back into the cruiser spotlight, and riders everywhere are asking one electrifying question. Did Indian just revive the golden era of American motorcycles? The moment this machine appears, it feels like stepping straight into the 1940s. Long sweeping fenders, classic wire-spoke wheels, and a teardrop tank that screams vintage American heritage. But don't be fooled by the nostalgic look. Beneath that timeless style lives the massive Thunderstroke 116 V-twin, a 1,890cc air-cooled engine that unleashes about 120 pound-feet of torque at just 2,900 revolutions per minute, delivering a deep, muscular surge the moment you twist the throttle. The power doesn't rush. It rolls in like thunder, perfectly tuned for effortless highway cruising and long stretches of open road. But the real shocker is how modern this classic cruiser actually feels once you're in the saddle. The 2026 Chief Vintage blends old-school design with contemporary tech, including 3 ride modes: Tour, Standard, Sport, and a 4-inch Ride Command touchscreen display that adds navigation, smartphone connectivity, and ride information to the cockpit. Despite its vintage personality, the bike delivers stability and comfort thanks to a relaxed riding position, 16-inch wheels wrapped in Metzeler Cruise Tech tires, and a low 27-inch seat height that makes controlling the 721-pound cruiser surprisingly manageable. The result is a motorcycle that feels like a living piece of American motorcycling history, but one that rides with modern confidence. When the 2026 Indian Chief Vintage hits the highway, it doesn't just carry riders down the road, it turns every mile into a nostalgic journey through the soul of cruiser culture. The 2026 Harley-Davidson Breakout 117 has exploded back onto the cruiser scene, and riders everywhere are asking one bold question: is this the most aggressive muscle cruiser Harley has ever built? The moment this long, low machine rolls into view, it looks less like a motorcycle and more like a rolling piece of American attitude. Built by Harley-Davidson, the Breakout 117 brings drag strip styling straight to the street with its stretched stance, massive 240mm rear tire, and unmistakable chrome muscle. But the real drama starts when the engine fires up. At the heart of the bike sits the thunderous Milwaukee 8 117 V-twin, a massive 1,923cc engine producing about 103 horsepower and 126 pound-feet of torque, delivering a brutal wave of power the moment you twist the throttle. The acceleration isn't frantic, it's relentless, pushing the bike forward with the kind of torque that makes stoplight launches feel like drag races. But the real shocker isn't just the power, it's how bold the entire machine feels once you're in the saddle. The Breakout's low 25.6-inch seat height, long 66.7-inch wheelbase, and raked-out front end give the bike a stretched, chopper-style silhouette while keeping the ride stable and planted on the highway. A massive 21-inch front wheel, muscular fuel tank, and signature 2-into-2 exhaust complete the look, turning every ride into a rolling show of raw American cruiser style. Despite its intimidating appearance, modern electronics like traction-enhancing rider aids and refined suspension make the bike surprisingly controllable, even with all that torque waiting under your right hand. When the 2026 Breakout 117 hits the boulevard, it doesn't just cruise quietly through traffic, it announces itself with thunder, chrome, and pure muscle bike swagger.